What's up, y'all? What's up, guys? It's Tino in the building once again, and finally, after the wait, the Premier League is back. I don't know about you guys, but oh my days, the wait has been way too long. At least we had some football, the Euros, Copa America, and some of the Olympic Games. But come on, let's be honest. Like, it's just not the Prem. So yeah, let's get into it. Just wanted to do some predictions for the table. Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, mid table, what do you think of when you think of mid table? Come on. Crystal Palace, obvious. Lower mid table, and of course, the battle scrap, the relegation battle. So let's get into it. Okay, so who do we have for the relegation? I think a very easy option for relegation battle has to be the new boys. Um, yeah, so that means we've got Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester coming back to the Prem. Funny enough, I only think out of these three possible teams, only two of them are most likely to go down. You know, so yeah, I think bottom it has to be Southampton. Like they really haven't strengthened that much. I mean, they have a really good striker in Brenton Diaz, but it's just not going to be enough for the Prem. The Prem has just gotten way too strong, and they're just not strong enough. So yeah, sorry, man. And for 19th, hmm, for 19th, you know, I'm gonna have to go with Wolves. I don't know, man. The business Wolves have done has not been impressive, and mind you, they've lost two of their really good players. Kilman, one of their best defenders last season, and obviously Neto. They got good amount of money from them, but the reinforcements they don't look that convincing. And come on, like Neto, although he was very injury prone, you still got your goal contribution there. And come on, if there's something you need in the Prem, you need goals. you know, like there's no way about it. So for me, Wolves has to be 19th. And capping off the relegation scrap, uh, it's gonna have to go to. This is where my first hot take of the season is gonna come. For 18th, unfortunately, it has to be Leicester. Like, look, I know Leicester. They've won the Prem. The fairy tale story 2015, but I don't know, man. Like, they're gonna be hit with a point deduction because of I think some breaches with the financial rules or something. So yeah, man. Like, it's probably gonna be what -6 points. It's gonna be a tough battle for them. So have Leicester unfortunately at 18th. You know, they still have Vardy, but also Vardy's on his last legs. He's about to retire. So sorry, man. Sorry about the lighting here, man. Look hella brighting, like a ghost. It's all good. We'll just leave it like that. Yeah, let's go for it. So, yeah, I think this is gonna be these guys are gonna get relegated, unfortunately, and yeah. So this is where my first hot take comes in. I think Ipswich will survive. They will survive um, the relegation scrap, but they will still be in there. So this, yeah, I think they're gonna be in the scrap, but they will just narrowly survive. Hopefully, I'm really looking forward to Liam Delap. Interesting fact about him: he's actually the son of Rory Delap, and if you know, you know. Rory Delap. Him Stoke City days and his long throws. I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, and oh my days, like we used to always struggle against that. So yeah, let's put them at 17th. And I guess yeah, for the it's gonna be the usual boys here who let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be the usual boys: Nottingham Forest, um, Everton, and so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 5 teams, okay? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. Another team that's going to be in this is, the usual contenders, Brentford. Another hot take for me. I don't see Thomas Frank surviving the season. Like, I really wasn't impressed by Brentford last season, and I think it's going to be a repeat. Um, Tony was really pushing for a move, but unfortunately, he couldn't find anyone. Like, he's getting old, and like he's in a stage where he's not one of the most elite strikers, and also he's not worth that price that they wanted to sell him for. So he's gonna be there. But the unfortunate thing for Brentford is of like all the other teams have gotten stronger, and I'm not so sure if they strengthened that team that much. They did get someone interesting, but I'm forgetting their name now. So yeah, and obviously Everton. I mean Everton. It's the usual. They lost Onana, and you know what, right? I think from this list, I think they can finish comfortably 13. Um, like of this bunch, I think they have enough to stay up with Sean Dyche and his defense. They know how to get pretty far. So I do back them. I realize we need 5 teams for the lower mid table. I think capping up the lower mid table, Fulham. I think Fulham will be right about here. And speaking of Fulham, please Fulham, like do me a solid, start the season off and please get that W against United. Like I need to start off the season with a hate watch. Like I think we all need that. Yeah. Also still talking about Fulham. Fulham also look really interesting this season. They lost one of their good defenders. Is it Tete? He's the guy who went to Chelsea. He's pretty solid, but unfortunately they lost him. But other than that, they still have a very young and promising young attacking line, and want to look out for also for the people who play fantasy, Robinson. Like Robinson for that price tag, I see him linking up so well with Smith Rowe. I was so gutted about Smith Rowe leaving Arsenal, but at the same time I was really happy because I really think Smith Rowe needs to get that game time. Like there's a player in Smith Rowe, and him going to Fulham, at least he's gonna get more game time, get to actually be the main guy of that team. Him, Andreas Pereira, and Muniz. Yeah, like those guys as the attacking line. It's really gonna be. I'm really looking forward to seeing that, and of course being supported by Alex Iwobi and the likes. So yeah, I think for the low mid table, Everton and Fulham, they're gonna be really excited. And then for Forest, I don't have a lot to say about Forest because I really haven't been paying much attention to them. I know they did get. I think they got Lewis Hall from. Forget if he's a Chelsea or Newcastle boy, but they got him. Excuse me. And he's gonna be promising, maybe. Hopefully he gets a good season in as well. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's what it's gonna look like for the lower mid table. Now on to the next one, higher mid table, 8 to 12. I mean, what's higher mid table? What screams higher mid table more than Crystal Palace? Like, yeah, come on. If I had to take a guess right now, Crystal Palace are gonna finish 11th on the dot. But yeah, still also looking pretty forward to them. Let me just put, so 8 to 12 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 5 teams. Okay, so for 8 to 12, Bournemouth is definitely going to be there. Oh, West Ham, definitely. Brighton, of course. And rocking it off, I would say it's between. I'm gonna have to go with Newcastle, unfortunately. You know, it's gonna have to be Newcastle, eh? Yeah, let me explain that actually. So yeah, let me. It's probably gonna look like this. Yeah, perfect. It's gonna be like this. So let's start off with Bournemouth. Um, yeah, Bournemouth. What do we have to say about Bournemouth? It's unfortunate that so late into the transfer window they lost their top goal scorer from last season, Solanke. Props to Solanke for moving on to a bigger side. Even though it's Tottenham, like, I mean, he's not gonna win trophies, but hey, he's going to a bigger side, I guess, right? But yeah, so I think Bournemouth might actually struggle a bit just because of losing such a important person to their attacking force. And once again, the Prem, like with anything, you need goals. And with Solanke, they're losing a 20 goal scorer. Like, I don't know how they're gonna get those 20 goals, and it's gonna be pretty much difficult for them. And thinking about it now, just with that, I think 12 might just be a bit too high for them. It actually might be a bit too high. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually gonna. But I mean, they did replace him with the man from Porto. He was their striker. Even I know he's the Brazilian striker. Um, Look, you get some pretty good players from the Portuguese league, but there's been too many frauds coming out of that league, like way too many, and they really don't prove themselves. Me, an Arsenal fan, I'm still waiting for Fabio Vieira to land. You know, Liverpool, they're still waiting for Darwin Nunes to be that person that they saw. Like, they definitely can be like, they can get much better, but like, I just don't trust those men in the Prem. So it might be a tall ask for him to like um be the main guy um to what's it to replicate those 20 goals from Solanke, because that's a lot. And other than that, yeah, it's gonna be difficult. So I'm gonna have to replace them with Fulham. I actually have more faith in Fulham compared to Bournemouth. Hey, you may come back and and roast me for this, but yeah, I don't know. Those 20 goals is gonna be difficult to replicate, man. So yeah. And then Crystal Palace. Oh man, that's my second favorite team. The boys from South London. Yeah, Crystal Palace. They had a really good season towards the end last season with the link up of Eze, Michael Elise, and the R9 region, Jean Philippe Mateta. So yeah, really looking forward to what they do this season. It's a bit unfortunate that they've lost Michael Elise to Bayern Munich, but honestly, with a talent like that, it was bound to happen. Like, ever since his days at Reading, when he joined Palace from Reading, we just knew that boy was gonna go to the top. So really proud to see him go to Bayern, and yeah, I think he's gonna continue with the form. Obviously, it's always been unfortunate for his career at Palace. He had injuries, but whenever he was there, the quality was always there. So yeah, hopefully he can continue his form from the Olympics and bring it to Bayern. But yeah, all the best for Michael Elise, and yeah, let's look at what Crystal Palace have to do. They've also brought in some pretty good players, Palace. I think they brought in Kamada and who else did Palace bring in? I swear they brought someone in. Nah, man, let me quickly check this. Palace signings. But yeah, but speaking of Kamada, he's a good midfielder. Uh, um, can definitely expect some good stuff from him. So yeah, let me just quickly check who Palace brought in. In the meantime, also look at that. Brighton, Brighton. You know, you guys know how to apply pressure. I won't lie. That much I'll say for you guys, because all my days, like, yeah, I think it's just gonna be the usual for you guys of course in the top six, the usual upsets, and then followed by you guys getting hit like 3-0 by a team like Forest or heck, even Ipswich, you know? So, yeah. But as always, looking forward to some of the people that they've brought in. Um, one of the Arsenal boys, Kozio Duberry, um, the Saka region. I'm really looking forward to him from their side. I really hope he gets at least, if he can at least get like, I mean, coming from right from youth academy, if he can get like at least 10 good games, and he can actually like, set the world alight, I'd be so happy for him. So really looking forward to him. They've also brought in some other forwards. I don't really know them, so I won't say too much. But yeah, that's the usual with Brighton. You know, Brighton always bring in these unknown players, but they know how to give them a place to shine. For them to market themselves and eventually go on to a much better side. Yes, I remembered now who Crystal Palace also bought. They brought in Ishmael Assar. Yeah. Um. Look, Ishmael Assar on his day, like the talent is clearly there, but also at the same time, Ishmael Assar can really disappear. Like he's that type of person where you can get like 5 touches in a game and you won't even notice him there. But when he is there, like on his day, he will turn up for you. So I'm not expecting much from him, but like if he can at least get some goals here and there, quickly form a partnership with Eze and Mateta, then yeah, hopefully we see something really good. Um yeah, like they need to get up and running quickly. I'm also a bit worried about Crystal Palace because Mark Gehi, their captain, solid centre back. He's been linked to Newcastle, and Newcastle have really been pushing for him. I think they're on their fourth or fifth bid for him now, and they're really pressing hard for him. So, if they can at least keep Mark Gehi, like just to have that partnership of Mark Gehi and Anderson, like for at least another season, because I think it'll be too much for them to lose both Olise and Mark Gehi in the same season. Like yeah, you don't just replace like Gehi like that. A leader, a strong presence at the back, in the dressing room. So yeah, let me just quickly check who else was that. Who Palace have also signed. Let's see. Right, I won't say I really know these guys. So yeah, unfortunately, like I can't really say I know them, but I do see they did bring in a centre back from Rio Betis, Chadi Riyad. Yeah, he could be promising as well. I need to read up a bit more on like what type of player he is, but yeah, all the best for Palace. I think they have enough to stay, like to obviously to stay up, but to also cause some damage. And Glasner is their manager. I just hope he can continue on the great form he ended off last season with. So yeah, and of course Mateta. Come on, Mateta, don't be a one season wonder and get us like at least minimum 10 goals. We need 10 goals out of you, And let's not forget that Palace still have Edward. You know, like I personally, I always thought Edward was gonna be much better than Mateta. So I'm really looking forward to him also stepping up as well. They could heck it could be an Edward and Mateta partnership that carries Palace all the way. So yeah. West Ham. Honestly, I think West Ham have been the winners of this transfer season. To be honest, like who have they not bought? Who have they not brought in? They've brought in what's his name now? Fulkrug, the striker from Dortmund. You know, I can already see it, man. Like Ward Prowse pinging in those crosses, you know, and Fulkrug at the end of them. Like they've got themselves a solid nine in Fulkrug. Hopefully, he can get it up and running as soon as possible. So yeah, and to add on to the attack as well, they've also brought in Somerville. So like I'm just imagining also the counter attack, Somerville and Kudus. Come on, man, and Paqueta at the back. Paqueta supporting them. Come on, and like cash money, man. So honestly, I really see West Ham doing a lot, and they've really strengthened throughout the team, like in very key places throughout the team. I haven't even talked about their defense as well. They've brought in like some solid players at the back. Like I was talking about Wolves losing someone really important. They lost Max Kilman, one of the one of the few English young centre backs who really get chances to play for the England team, but they have the talent. The quality is there, but you know England is a stacked nation. So yeah, them having Kilman and also one of my manager mode favorites. What's his name? Todibo, Jean Claude, coming in from Nice. Ball playing centre back, like you know. So they look really good, and they've also brought in Wan Bissaka. I'm really happy for Wan Bissaka because you know there's a player in Wan Bissaka, you know, and I think West Ham, that's his level. I think he can really do a lot there, and yeah, you know, I think that's his level. You know, he got unfortunately at United, he got criticized a bit too much for not being able to play. The modern day wingback. He's not that, so he got criticized a lot, which I feel is a bit unfortunate and not fair on him because there's a reason why United brought him in to begin with because of his Palace days. He was exceptional, you know. So yeah, expecting big things from West Ham, to be honest. So yeah. Okay, then on to the the big stuff, you know, the European places. Look, I don't want to spend too much time here because come on, um, you know, I'm not one to speak since I'm an Arsenal fan, but Conference League, come on, you know, yeah, you're playing in Europe, but come on, man, you know, unfortunately, Chelsea is the one that's going to be playing there this season, so yeah, we'll see. But my predictions for this season, this is where it gets a bit difficult, but I think Aston Villa. I know it sounds very um, it's very boring for me to be like, oh, since they're playing Champions League, they're not used to this. They're not gonna finish as high. But I still think it's gonna be a lot for them. Like, look, I know Emery. You know, he's used to this. Like, Emery is Mister. You know, European competitions himself. Like, he's like Ancelotti from Wish or something. You know, whatever. You know, because what he won like 4 Europa Leagues in a row, so he knows how to play games on like a Thursday evening and still somewhat wow in the league. You know, so yeah, we'll see. And Aston Villa, they've also made some good signings. I was a bit hacked there. I really wanted Arsenal to get Onana, but hey, they chose not to. But hey, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, they brought in Onana. Who else did they bring in? The guy they brought in from Juve, a part of the swap deal with you know how Douglas Luiz went that side. the winger that they got. Solid signings. And Matson, being able to get Matson from Chelsea, yeah, he looks like another solid option for the fantasy points. Those hidden gems, you might say. So yeah, Aston Villa 7th. I think it's fine for them. You know. Also, sorry, I just realized I didn't speak about Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle. Been a bit under the radar during this transfer window, to be honest. Must be because of financial regulations. Maybe they had to like put a pause on it, but Newcastle still is a team with a lot of talent. Lots of talent, and Eddie Howe, he's been doing a solid job with them, to be honest. Sorry, just had to move that slightly. Yeah, and, they've got Isak, 20 goal striker, solid. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, and yeah, Gordon. I think the only thing I'm worried about for Newcastle has to be their defense. Yeah, I mean their centre backs. I guess that's why they're trying to push for Mark Gahey. If they get Mark Gahey, that possibly does push them high up the table. So yeah, all the best to Newcastle. The new boys. So yeah, I guess it's not become a top 8, to be honest. Like bit by bit, that's the reality now. Okay, on to Europa League. For Europa League, it's gonna have to go to Chelsea and Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. Looking at this also again of like, you know what? I take back what I said. I know I'm. This is my second time doing this, but yeah, Chelsea should not be made. I don't see them. I see them being 7th once again because, once again, I'm not impressed by Chelsea. I don't know how they've somehow ended up with more players than they had than last season. Like, how do you have 43 first team players? Like, you don't even do this in FIFA, So, I need to know what the business plan or strategy is at Chelsea. So yeah, I'm not impressed there, and they still need a striker. I don't think they have a good striker. Uh, you know, they added bonuses. They've got Ice Cold Palmer, but you should also be worried because they have a new guy now, Maresca. It might not be the same, unfortunately. Like, and I'm not being a hater here, but you never know. Things can happen. Anything can happen. So, yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if Maresca got sacked. Like, I'm really not convinced by him. Even him towards the end of Leicester, like last season, he dropped off a bit. He dropped the ball a bit, and Leicester fans weren't that sad to see him go. I mean, that should be a warning, But hey, he's a coach. I think he's a good coach, but that's not enough. Especially like at a big club, it's not enough. So yeah, and preseason they haven't looked really sharp, so it might take them a bit of a while to get things rolling. And yeah, just because it might take them a while to get things rolling, I think compared to the teams that are going to finish above them, they at least have some solid plans, or they have a way of playing already. Except for maybe Liverpool, who also have a new manager, but like the talent at Liverpool will obviously like go a long way compared to Chelsea. So yeah. Yeah, so I think Europa League will be Aston Villa and Tottenham. As an Arsenal fan, I'm a bit jealous at Tottenham. They've really been doing some good business. Excuse me. Um, let's see. Yeah, sorry. I know they got Solanke and they also got Archie Gray, he's a good young signing, and a lot of the Tottenham fans are like they're really happy about his signing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. Hopefully, he actually gets a decent amount of games. Excuse me. So yeah, them getting Solanke, Archie Gray, spend quite a lot on him. For an 18-year-old, 41 million. Yeah, it's quite a lot, if you ask me. Look, I was really jealous because look, they got a striker, and for Arsenal, sorry guys, I'm really biased, and I'm gonna be talking a lot about Arsenal. So yeah, I still think Arsenal, we need a striker. We can't. We need that. So yeah, that's why I'm a bit jealous. But other than that, I think sick. I think Ange should be able to do enough to finish sixth. Yeah, 6, 7 there. It's gonna be a struggle between Chelsea and Tottenham, to be honest. But I also do think there's gonna be pressure on Ange because there was the all feel good, um, motivated last season of like Ange ball, they're playing progressively, positively, but he's gonna sometimes have to be progressive and actually change his tactics because I know he's all about even if we're losing 5-0, we're gonna keep playing how we play. Okay, cool, bro, but like, you know, in the Prem sometimes you need to be pragmatic. You have to bend your will sometimes. So yeah, but six should be enough for them. Um, we expect Son to do Sonaldo things. And yeah, hopefully also Richarlison can step up when he can, and yeah, and hopefully another solid season from Madison. Hopefully they can get something from Bentaker this season. They did miss him last season due to injury, and I think they'll need that. And they really did a good job of being able to get rid of the deadwood, Eric Dyer, Cessignon, um, what's this guy, the right back, Emerson Royale. Um, props to them because they clearly didn't have a good place at Tottenham, so them being able to get some money from them and also just getting them off the books goes a really long way for them. Keeping up with financial fair play, the Prem regulations, and just reinvesting. I guess that's how they're able to buy Solanke. They also got rid of Hoiberg. Yeah, Hoiberg was really, he wasn't a fan favorite, so for them being able to get rid of him, props to them. I'll give them, like, in terms of the transfer window, I'll give them good points for being able to get rid of deadwood players. So yeah. All right, now to the serious boys, the big boys. Top four, Champions League. What we're trying to play for nowadays at City. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so yeah, I think top four is gonna be United, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Let's sort out the order. All right, let's start off with United. United, it's a new era. you know, eras had to end, and yeah, here we are now. With Ineos and their new owners. Excuse me, sorry, I have a bit of a flu there. If I'm a United fan, a casual United fan, obviously I know the hardcore United fans, they're not gonna be happy. But if I'm a casual, I'm impressed by the investments that have been made into the club. Like, you can't complain that the new owners have come in and actually brought in players. Bringing in Lenny Yoro, Delict, Mazraoui, Xerxes. I think there's someone else there that I'm forgetting. But, they got some players in. Unfortunately, they still need a DM. But look, Actually, that's a really big problem. They need to get a DM, like a proper DM, because I don't think you can really rely on Casemiro again this season because from last season, age clearly has gotten to him, and yeah, I'm not a fan of Mainu being played so deep as the lone six or whatever. That's not Mainu, and please, United needs to stop playing. They need to stop forcing midfielders to play out of position. It was the same with Scott when sometimes they were trying to play Scott as a six, and Scott is not like alone. He's not that. He's a box crasher. Like he can't do that. So yeah, hopefully maybe they can still get Ugarte. I know they're still pushing for Ugarte, trying to get him in because I see Ugarte has been left out of the PSG team for the first game of the season, and yeah, it seems Ugarte is dead set on joining United. So if they get him, then yeah, if I'm a United fan, I am extremely happy. Obviously, look, it's a good thing getting all these players, but they're not gonna gel immediately. So you guys are gonna have to trust the process. Do I see Ten Hag as the guy to get you guys there? Kinda not. Like he Ten Hag still has to prove himself to me. And I think to a lot of other fans, like a lot of fans aren't really convinced by him. So yeah, maybe who knows? Maybe they might have to get someone new, but I don't see him getting fired this season. Maybe if he finishes outside Champions League this season, then he'll definitely get sacked. They will look for someone better because look, these are young players, and with the right management, they can go far. So my girlfriend is a United fan, and she's not happy with the signings. But I kind of feel like it looks promising. If you can get the delict from the delict that all these top coaches see somehow, or that promising delict, you have a solid side in there. Like, and I don't mean this as a diss or anything, but like he's a Dutch Maguire, and Maguire on his day is a really good centre back. So having that cover for Maguire in Delict is really like it's good, because like last season, even now, one of United's biggest enemies was the amount of injuries that they had like last season. So yeah, you know, I'm one of the positive. I'm one of the people who are looking positively towards United, and yeah, I think another thing, Diallo, like I think United's um, season also depends on how Ten Hag uses Diallo. I think Ahmad is ready for. I think Ahmad is ready to have a much more important role in this United squad. Like, there's a play in Ahmad. Like, he's shown it to us, and even during preseason, you can see he's finally ready. You know to be a starting attacker for United, and yeah, I think there were times during last season where guys like Rashford, yeah, sometimes he needs a break, and also for Rashford, he's also gonna be a bit. Rashford is also a bit under pressure this season. He has to deliver this season. I think if he has a season similar to like last season, then it's time. I think it's time to call it. It's time to wrap up his career at United because he's with the wages that you're paying him. He can't be a liability like that. You can't be getting like less than 10 goal contributions from Rashford. Like, it's just too poor. You've got Anthony as well and Garnacho. Like, you, like it won't be good enough. So, personally for me, I think fully fit, I would go with Ahmad Diallo on the right. Your striker is for now, I guess Hoyland, since we don't really. Xerxes isn't fit enough yet to be playing, so I would go with Hoyland as our striker, and on the left, play Garnacho. I just see Garnacho season on season has been getting better, and he's just gonna keep getting better. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Who else did I leave out for United? Onana. Onana. Oh, na na na. I have a problem with you, man. What if I don't know who taught you that technique for the penalties, like this thing of pointing that way, whatever. Stop that. Don't bring that shit into the prem or anything. Excuse my language. No, stop that. You tried it twice, what, 3 times? It failed. So come on, man, pack it up. Okay, let's move on to Liverpool. Liverpool. Unfortunately for them, an era had to come to an end. The Klopp era. Fantastic manager in Klopp, and yeah, he, going toe to toe with Pep Guardiola season on season, it puts a toll on the body. You can't keep doing this. I mean, I can already see with Arteta, it's getting to him, So, yeah, unfortunately, Klopp had to call it a day, and in comes on a slot. Looks like a promising manager. Yeah, he's, you know, just to keep it simple, I think he's got that aura. I think if I had to compare him to Ten Hag, I think he's a much better Dutch manager. Like, just based off like how he conducts himself and how he presents himself and how Liverpool have been playing during pre-season. They look really promising. But we also need to factor in that for these teams that are trying to transition from having a manager there for a long time and change into a new style, it takes a lot. It happened to United when they were transitioning from Alex Ferguson. It happened to Arsenal when they were transitioning from Wenger. That first season, it's rough. It's bound to be rough. But excuse me. But you also look at Liverpool, like, these teams. It's still Klopp at least didn't leave these teams like in a mess. Klopp at least left it like integrating some good young players, and Liverpool have a strong team. Ideally, I still see Arsenal as being favorites to go toe to toe. Excuse me, toe to toe with City. Sorry, but if things don't go well for Arsenal this season, I can see Liverpool maybe finishing second, but I still back Arsenal to be the closest thing to City. So yeah, obviously for Liverpool, it really depends on that. It depends on the midfield. I think they still need to get a 6. It's been unfortunate that they couldn't get Zubimendi. he unfortunately said no to the plan. Yeah, I don't know. Liverpool have really been struggling with getting midfielders. Like, yes, they can get midfielders, but the best midfielders, they've really been struggling with their pool. Like, yeah, so it's a bit unfortunate there. But I still think, them rotating, I guess, Endo or McAllister as their 6 can somewhat work. But yeah, I think that's a worrying point for their team. And I guess also a bit of Robertson. I think Robertson last season was, the fall off was evident, and I think they may start looking at a Robertson replacement, really. So yeah, and for the forward line, Liverpool have really good attackers there. I think the issue is of like, how do you pick the best front three? Because I think on the right you've got Salah. Like, Salah has that position locked down. Like, he's the best right winger that they have. But it's the striker and the left winger where you're like, what do I do here? Because I think ideally for striker you've got you've got Jota and Nunes competing for that position. And then for the left wing, you've got Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz competing for the left wing. So just being able to get the right mix of those four guys or five, I think it's going to be very key. And I think the support players of Harvey Elliott, yeah, Harvey Elliott, yeah, also as a backup, I guess, for Salah, or does he play like as an attacking midfielder? Yeah, one of those. I think, yeah, they have really good strikers, forwards. They just need to get the right mix. So yeah, looking forward to them as well. Then the mighty Arsenal. Arsenal. Come on, boys. Okay. Boy, do I have a lot to say about Arsenal, but now I'm gonna keep it brief. I think I've kind of said a bit of the stuff throughout the video. But yeah, look, personally, I think we're gonna we're gonna finish number one. But like, I also don't think we will, because I'm still not impressed by the fact that the problems that we had at the beginning of last season, we did not fix them in this transfer window. I think everyone knows this, of like, what happens when Saka gets injured. We don't have a natural Saka backup. Like, I'm not here to listen to, we've got Reece Nelson, Martinelli can play on the right wing. Oh heck, we've got Trossard. No, come on guys, like, those guys are not right wingers, and the drop off is just too much. I get nightmares about Arsenal without Saka on that right wing. Like, I legit do, because the fall off is massive. And I think that's a problem we have with Arsenal as a whole. Like, look, last season we were very fortunate that we barely got injuries, at all, actually, to most of our core 11. The Gabriel, Saliba, Saka, Rice, Odegaard. They weren't that many injuries, and I think because of that, Arteta was able to get away with just fielding them for every single game. But when you really look at our second string of players, it gets a bit worrying. Like, I think our second string is enough to get us top four, but our second string is not enough for us to compete for the title. That's just personally what I think. So yeah. So one of the issues, like I said, was that right wing position. Come on, we need that backup. Ideally, Nico Williams would have been a really good option, but with that price, it wasn't looking good. Who else? Maybe Chiesa. Maybe, like a big maybe on Chiesa, but hey, yeah, we'll see really. Another one that I would have liked also was obviously the Netos, but I mean, seeing that he went to Wolves for 60 million again, I wouldn't have wanted Arsenal to spend 60 million on Neto for him just to be a backup. Like, no. If we can get like someone worth 30 million as a backup for Saka, that would be good business. If that means it's Chiesa, and maybe Arteta can convince me, but I personally don't think 2024 Chiesa is the same as 2021 Chiesa. Like, if it was 2021 Chiesa, then yeah, sure, but right now, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. Another issue for us is that left centre mid role. Like, yeah, we still need to sort that out. We need to sort out that Xhaka, that whatever role Xhaka had for us in that 2022-23 season. We need that sorted out for our team. Like, yeah, I don't know, that midfield of like I do not want to see Kai can play in that midfield, maybe, but personally for me, I hate it. I hated every single game where Kai was in the midfield for us last season. Maybe maybe it didn't look natural because he was still very new to the whole role of playing in the midfield for us. And maybe it could look better for us this season. Who knows? Maybe he's gotten better to it. And hey, it could actually work for us. But if it's gonna be the same level that I saw from last season, like of Kai in the midfield, scrap that idea completely. Like bin that idea, and get a proper midfielder there. If it's gonna be Miko Marino, fine, perfect. Um, I know Arteta. Arteta loves those boys who can win duels, and Marino will win you those duels in the midfield. So if we can get that sorted out, my only gripe to it really is of like his age. But hey, it's fine. Like if we can at least get someone there. And lastly, but not least, and this is a controversial topic, but the striker role, like, not it's not to shade on Kai. I am one of the people who had to apologize to Kai because Kai really stressed me because when we got Kai, we had other big problems, and those first few games, it was not looking good for Kai there. But honestly, when he actually started being played as a striker for us instead of the midfield, oh man, I was so happy. Like, I was so happy, man. Like, um, he was special, man. Kai in that running for us trying to compete, us competing for the title. Do you know the only one time where we had a bad game that ultimately cost us the title? That game, the Aston Villa game where he was played in the midfield. I don't like Miko. We need to have a chat. Why did you do that? But yeah, but if Kai can continue that run of like being our gun like as he did towards the end of last season, then I don't need a striker. I already have a 25 goal season striker in Kai if he can replicate that. But I do still also think if Kai can't do that, then we need a striker, and a natural striker. I don't need these hybrid strikers of left wing. He can drop deep. He's a 9.5. No, give me a striker. Give me a gunman. Give me a you know give me like an Osimhen. Give me a who else? Give me an Isak. You know, to this day I get hurt that we Arsenal did not go for Isak from Real Sociedad. Why couldn't Martin put in a good word for Isak of like, hey yo boss, come on, get Isak here. You saw what we did at Sociedad, So yeah, but like if I had to rank my priorities, priority number one is that right wing backup. Cause look, I love my boy Saka, but he's not a machine. Like we can't. He needs to rest sometimes. I also do think like last season, you could tell like there were some games where he wasn't at his best because he's been constantly playing every single game, which kind of that sucked. It really did, but yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think I'll leave it like that. But I'm still very happy that we got Color Fury. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, we got the pretty boy. But yeah, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good depth for our defensive line. If there's one thing I will praise Arteta for every single day is the work that he's done with our defense. That defense, I'm so proud of it. Every single day of like how strong we are at the back, I get so happy because I love a good defense. I really do. So yeah, I'm a sucker for that. And the most boring team on this list, you know, um, uh, 115 charges FC. No, I'm just joking. Man City. What do we need to say about City? Like, yeah, they lost like their backup striker Julian Alvarez for like what 90 million. Bro, they sold a backup striker for 90 million. Like, how do you compete with that? you know? So honestly, yeah, it's City. Like City will do City things. What's there to look forward to? I mean, they got in Savio. He also looks good. Bitch, you know what? No, I'm not gonna accuse City of anything here. But yeah, he's a good signing for them. I think he's a right winger slash eight slash 10. So yeah, looks promising. But yeah, for City, I don't know what to say about City because you try everything. They've become so inevitable now. Um, you can try do all the prep you do, but yeah, they always find a way to crush people's hearts. So the only thing I'm looking forward to is of like maybe this is Pep's last season. If us as Arsenal and Miko can just survive one more season of Pep in charge, then I think we should be fine for the rest of other seasons. So yeah, um, Holland. Yeah, I mean, like there's not much to say about City because everything we already know for City, it's there. You know, like yeah. But I do still think Arsenal can put pressure on them again. But yeah, we just gotta trust the process. All right. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna conclude this video. Thank you for the people who tuned in. Yeah, very new to this, so there's no editing for this. I just did a one take, and it's probably gonna be very clear. It's probably shit audio. Heck, the background. I'm just doing this like yeah, yeah, in my room, I guess. So yeah, thank you for anyone who got to the end of this. Really appreciate it, and yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you guys, yeah, this is my final. This is what I think the Prem table is gonna look like. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, down in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe. Cheers.